Okay, 1845, good luck. So we've not played before, we have no head-to-head score. 9,000 games for my opponent nearly. Okay, goes the traditional c4. Let's go d4. Goes in early e3, all standard. What do I want to do? I don't want to play this. I play the Reti myself, so c5, knight up. Just take. I'm just going to take that. Goes the very attacking line. Okay, this game could get quite explosive. Could do. Okay. I'm going to bring my bishop up. If check, I can just block, I think. He plays bishop up. Again, if queen check, I can block, but we're going to see a very, very attacking game here, I think. I'm just going to castle. And I want the bishop where the knight is to charge this diagonal, or at some point. Let's bring this knight up. Okay, he's brought the bishop up. I'm going to play an early c5 and try and challenge the pawn structure. But at some point, I want to try and eliminate this bishop. That's what I'm aiming for. Let's just challenge this straight away. The knight moves, obviously I'll trade this bishop, but there could be a dangerous sack at some point. Okay, he's come forward. I don't think he'll play g4, but you never know, he might do. Let's just drop back. He might do a move like g4, let's just see. Knight down takes, bishop takes. Knight up could be a nice nuisance move, so he's releasing the pressure there. I think we'll take the pawn. Oh, he's gone with the knight again. I didn't expect that. That might allow me a move like knight forward and then bishop up. Does it? Does it not? Knight up could be a move, threatening to take and undermine the pawn as well. Then I'm weakening f6. How do we do this? I'm going to play knight forward, I think. Yeah, knight forward, we stop the queen coming up. But I'm just trying to play the bishop up. There is knight across IDs as well. Okay, he's come straight up, so... Bishop up is still a move, actually. It is still a move, isn't it? Do we do it? Pawn down takes, takes... I'm going to play bishop up. It feels like my concentration isn't there for this game for some reason. Hopefully it won't go too bad, but if it does, it does. That's just chess. You can see I've pre-moved to take back with the knight if he does trade the bishop. Okay, he does push forward. How do we do this? How do we do it? Pawn up's a move, queen up's a move to try and trade that queen. Yeah, I like the look of that actually. I'm going to play queen up. Again, it might be a mistake, but let's just see. But the queen can't avoid trading on the by running to the king side. They're all covered. You can obviously run the other side, but if the queen comes off, then the open f-file is a lot less dangerous. Don't mean it's not dangerous, it's just a lot less dangerous. So he's played rook across, so he's allowing the queen trade. Now, is there anything better? I don't think there is. But it should be good for me to trade, so I'm doing it. So now pawn up's a move. Knight across could be a move. Bishop up, then bishop takes. Pawn up I don't quite like, but he's ready to take and open the file, isn't he? So pawn up, knight up. Knight across. I don't know what to do here, but I don't want this knight left here. Maybe rook over is the move though. What's wrong with it? Let's play rook over just so we're definitely guarding our knight in case he takes. Maybe we could take back with that knight as well, but if he takes, I'd like to go this way. Well, now I've got the option to take and drop back, but my knight might get trapped. So take, knight back, we hit 2. I guess you've just got the simple king forward. There's no actual easy path for it anyway. What about the immediate knight back then? If knight takes, I take the rook, right? But then he can take a pawn. Knight back. Knight takes, I've always just got the simple bishop takes, I guess, but let's do it. Because if he takes, we've got bishop takes, but he does have knight or bishop takes at the end, so... Oh, actually, no, he would, wouldn't he? He'd have bishop takes, and if I go this way, he'd have knight takes here, so just take back with a bishop, I guess. If takes here, I can still take back, but I've given him a lot of time this game, a lot of time. Okay, he's come forward. I think now's the time to take. If he goes with a pawn, we get a check. So that should win an exchange. But he's still got the very dangerous bishop. Now, can we take there as well? I don't think so. But let's win the exchange while we can. Okay, now it should be good to get rid of that bishop if we can. I don't think he can afford to trade his bishop now. I think he needs to try and keep both of them. But let's see what he does. But you can imagine if the file stays open, the rook's dangerous. So that's what he's gone for there. But I can take with check and then push the pawn. So it's got to be good to take. Now that file's not open right now, but I'd like to take there as well. Pawn up might be a move. Pawn up might be a move. I guess this one could. Let's just push this pawn. If he takes, we can take back with a check. If he takes, now I think I take. I don't think there's an effective discovery capture back. So he's run back. Okay. If I do this, the knight's annoying. I'm just going to go there just to take that immediate pressure off the diagonal. But how on earth do I deal with this bishop? I mean, I'm restricting my knight now. I've given myself a bit of a problem here, haven't I? Actually, I shouldn't have pushed that pawn, I think. My knight's restricted now. I might have to do something like this. Oh, now he's done that. I'm just going to take. Okay, knight forward. I think he's made a mistake, just like I felt like I'd made a mistake. Obviously, his knight guards the pawn there. I'll pre-move in case he takes here. I don't think he will, but if that bishop disappears, then all these risks on the diagonal vanish with it. So, or in theory anywhere. Now, dare I go here? That feels dangerous. Let's just go here for now. Maybe I've got simple rook up just to pressure the pawn. We're restricting that knight, but if you can pick the rook up and magically bring it to the back, there is a checkmate threat in the corner. That's why it's risky pushing your pawns like this. So we might end up having to give an exchange back at some point just to deal with that bishop. But yeah, rook up looks like a nuisance move. But if you guard, then my rook's not got really anywhere else to go. Unless some sort of trick happens with my knight. So it's not easy to expand here. Maybe rook here and then move the knight and hit the pawn that way. Yeah, maybe rook this way could be a move and then say knight across or knight back. Let's just see how he plays it. He's gone back. Okay, well that might allow me to play king forward now so he can't come back either way here. But I guess he can do this. So king up, down. I'm going to play rook across and just try and target this pawn. So I've got a potential one move threat, just shift the knight somewhere and we open an immediate attack on the pawn. So it's whether he wants to go and try and defend it. Maybe we've even got knight here, but that feels dangerous walking into a pin. But king up, I think he's just got pawn down and that's annoying. Oh, he's targeting my pawn there. Okay, but I can move my knight. Rook down. Knight check is not a move. I'm going to go forward and try and get rid of this bishop. Again, if he moves his knight, my pawn is weak as well. Maybe I should have played a move like e5 first, actually. e5 and then f6. Yeah, e5 just to stop f4, and then my knight can drop back. That's actually... Why didn't I think of that? e5, knight e6, we open up this attack. But again, if I lose this pawn, he's got an outside pawn. But if I can redeploy my knight to the center, that could be dangerous. Let's just see. But is he going to move his knight back now? And if so, I mean, I've got rook c6, I guess, but you don't really want to be keeping your rook very passive like that just to guard a pawn. Knight out wide, he's got rook down to challenge the knight. So he's played the bishop back. Okay. Is there any trick? Takes, takes. No, there isn't. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and restrict the power of that bishop. Rook up, knight back. Right, f6 is done. It weakens this file now, but it tries to deal with this bishop. Okay, he's gone back. Now that gives me tempo to attack the bishop and attack the pawn. That might be a mistake. So now we get to hit the bishop and the pawn with one move. We're both level on the clock now, so we've gained back that little bit of time we were down. But equally, after trades, if my pawn falls here, one of his pawns could be very dangerous, but we'll try and grab this if we can. So we can take or we can trade and take. I think trade and take must be better. We just need to swap these pawns. If we can do that, we're definitely better. So if his knight moves, we can check and collect. And if we swap pawns, we're definitely better. Whether we're winning is another matter. We might have a false draw sequence somewhere, but hopefully at some point we can push a pawn through. And again, his king's a nice attacking piece here. Potentially our king is a lot more defensive. So he's played rook up to guard. So can I get active and come around the back now? Once I start going forward, it lets him in, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm going to do it with this one. I want to keep this rook here to try and restrict the knight, at least for a few moves. And I'm going to try and come and create a passed pawn. So he's going after my pawn. I think I should drive his king away here and then come across. Or I can go here. I think initially I go here. If I swap these pawns, I'm very happy. If I don't swap the pawns, I'm not so happy. Let's push forward. If his knight moves again, I've got a potential threat. It's not quite a mate threat just yet. Okay, we have swapped. So now we can go after his king, hopefully. So he hits my pawn. Yeah, that's annoying, isn't it? Let's just go defensive for now. Because we haven't got a lot of time. We can't afford to burn the clock. Okay, I'm going to check. If he comes this way, I'm coming around the back. But he doesn't have to, of course. Yeah, he's got a very, very solid position here. It could be difficult to win without taking big risks. So he's got knight over he's looking at. What do we do? What do we do? Pawn up feels wrong. Oh, what am I doing? I was going to go back and he covers it. If I go here, he just takes. If I go here, check across. I just don't want some sort of repetition. Let's check and come back here. Depends where his king goes. Okay, I'll go here, hit the pawn. So up now, check across. I'm going to take a risk. Oh, I blundered. I've just blundered the game. Why did I push that pawn? I've just blundered the game, have I? Oh, what the heck have I done? Have I literally just blundered the whole game? That's unbelievable, isn't it? Well, sadly it's believable. Although have I got a check here? If he can't guard his pawn, I can actually take. Have I been seriously lucky there? But can I get my rook back into the game? My rook is actually trapped right now. My rook is actually trapped. Oh, what the heck? I need to push a pawn somehow. My rook is actually trapped. I'm going to try and run the king up, but he can just check forever, and I think it's a draw, isn't it? At best, it's a draw at best, because he's got my rook trapped. So do I gamble? I'm going to have to gamble. I've got no choice, I don't think. But he can just, in principle, check forever. Oh, he's pushed on, but now that lets me come forward. That might have been a mistake. Wow, it was a mistake, wasn't it? It was a mistake. We've got very lucky winning that one. Oh, blimey. Well, let's see what the engine says, and let's see if we have got lucky winning that one. 65 moves that was. But you can see why these games are really, really dangerous. At least I got rating for that. I got a whole 2 rating points for that. I would have lost an awful lot if it went wrong. But yeah, it's completely flatline level. I was better, and then I've blundered it back to flatline level. And then it's just gone wrong for my opponent at the end. He's just pushed on. Didn't use his time. But I'm +4 better here. So I'm playing all this pretty well. And then I've blundered pushing the pawn, allowing his knight in, haven't I? It'll be the pawn push, I bet. Ah, it's the king move there. I should have played king forward instead. I just moved too quick. Didn't know what did I do. Yeah, I only moved that in 1 second. Then it's level here again. So it's still completely level even though we won that pawn, but our rook is completely trapped if he keeps his king there. It just checks the king forever. There's not much I can do, so I've taken a risk. It's still completely level, and that's where he's lost it by pushing. Okay, he's allowed me forward here. Just bring your king forward there, and he stepped back into checkmate, but I'm still better here. Maybe we just check and push the pawn, and he might have to defend, something like that. And he's just gone into mate, so we're very lucky with that one. 91% versus 85%. My centre pawn loss is 25, my average is 32, so it's still at my level. It's still not a bad game. It's just that we were much better. We've made that blunder. It's gone back to level, so at least we hadn't messed it up and we weren't actually worse than losing. It just felt a lot more dangerous type of position than what it actually was in reality then. So in reality, we've played it pretty well.